The funding for this video is provided by the amazing members of our Patreon. Also contributions from viewers like you. Thank you. Y'all started from PBS Kids, what you gonna do? Fight me? Anyway, roll the video.
Come on, boys, get loud. 'Cause when the music starts bumping, the whole place will be jumping. It's my scene, my scene. You know what I mean. It's my scene, you know what
Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and I'm back with another video. Hi, hello, how are you doing? My name is Harriyanna and I like, not that. Okay, run that back, run that back, run that back. Hey y'all, it's Harriyanna and welcome back to the pirate ship, also known as Harry Hook's pirate ship. I am the captain, you are not my first mate. I don't got no first mate because you wanna know why? Come on, come here, come here. Nobody's worthy of being the first mate. What just fell? We're good, we're good. We're gonna sit this over here. But hi, hello, my name is Harriyanna and I like to make content based off nostalgia and family and children's entertainment and all the issues that I find within those spaces. We are back again with the Miraculous Ladybug hot takes. Like I said, this is my fucking channel. If you don't like it if I talk about Miraculous Ladybug, you can easily click off. Okay, let's begin. Now, I have yet to see good discourse on YouTube about Nino. Like, I'll see discourse here and there, but I have yet to see like a full-on video about Nino's character. And I, for one, enjoy Nino's character a lot. I think he's a lot of fun. I like Nino. I think he's a good friend to Adrian. I think he's a good boyfriend to Alia. I think he's a good friend to Marinette. I enjoy Nino for the most part, but also his character frustrates me to the point where it kind of makes me a bit angry, because while Nino is great, he can be much better, and I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys about that. By the way, just a quick disclaimer, I am aware that I have lots of MomoCon footage that I need to upload, and I'm just kind of overwhelmed at the moment with all of that footage that I need to go through and edit, especially the Miraculous Ladybug panel that I co-hosted. So just give me a minute, I'm gonna get it out. It's a lot of footage that I need to go through and I'm low-key not emotionally ready to get through it. Alright, let's begin. Now, who exactly is Nino? Nino is basically the token black kid of the show. He's one of the token black kids. He's basically Adrian's token black kid. He's the DJ. He's always talking in heavy slang. He kind of talks like a stoner. He's Alia's boyfriend. He's overall a good guy. He gets along well with pretty much everyone, but also he's very carefree. He's a very fun, very outgoing, and he's also a risk taker. He takes the risk of getting in trouble, because there is numerous times when Nino's ass has gotten in trouble, okay? Like, I'm not even joking. As I said, Nino is a fun character, but so many of the issues that I have with him just stem from the fact that it's so obvious that it is just white people creating this character. Because why in season 4 is Nino just now getting a voice actor of color? He's finally being voiced by a black person, as he should. And also, by the way, before anyone tries to get on me about this, Moroccan is not a fucking race. It's not. Okay, it's not a race, and if you actually look on the damn map, you see Morocco is in Africa. Y'all got that? But also, one thing about Nino that just kind of frustrates me so much is because this show is pushing this idea that Nino is black, because, you know, he's literally the token black friend. But Nino's design honestly really fucking bothers me, and it's not just Nino in general, it's just the black people on this show. I kid you not. The black people's designs on this show are extremely bothersome, and it's not just the black people, it's also the Asian people just as well. As many people have spoken about how Kagami's design is a bit offensive for them, and, you know, listen to these people of these communities and try to get an understanding of why they feel that way. I do understand why Asian people are saying that Kagami's design is offensive. And then also, on the other hand, we have Marinette, who is biracial, who appears to be more white than Asian. Like, a lot of people didn't even know Marinette was half Asian until they saw her mother. The black designs on this show are honestly a bit weird, and it's also a bit frustrating because you see the white people designs in the show, you see how they look, and then you look at the black designs and you're just like, something about this just isn't right. Because as you see, Nino don't got no type of kink or curl up in his head, but apparently he's supposed to be black. Max's hair is dry as fuck. Like, it looks awful, okay? And then also I have mentioned before about one thing that bothers me about Nino's design is not just how he doesn't have kink or curl in his hair, but he's supposed to be black. Also, his skin tone be changing. Like, I've mentioned this before in the past, but that's just something about Miraculous Ladybug that's just always annoyed me. How the black people and just the people of color skin tones in general are always fucking changing in this series. But also, moving on from Nino's design that bothers me, one thing I really do enjoy about Nino is that, you know, his purpose in this show is to be there for Adrian. He is Adrian's best friend, and as you guys know, I don't really care too much for Adrian. He's not my cup of tea. I don't really go there. Alright, everybody knows that. But the only time I really kind of care too much when it comes to Adrian's character is because I really love the friendship between him and Nino. Because as we see, Nino cares a lot for this guy. And it's not because of the fact that he's rich. Because, you know, that is part of the reason why so many people fawned over Adrian. Because he is a rich, famous kid. He's literally a nepotism baby, alright? But we see that Nino isn't like that. He genuinely likes Adrian for who he is. But also he wants to get to know him better. And we know that part of the reason why Adrian struggles so much with being who he is has to do with the fact that his father is a fucking dickhead.
Myself don't work that way.
Nino and Adrian are like Ollie and me. They're BFFs. There's nothing Nino wouldn't do for Adrian. He even confronted his father, Gabriel Agreste, one day to try and throw Adrian a birthday party.
And barely lets him out the house. And that's honestly our introduction to Nino when we are watching this series. As, you know, season 1, a lot of those episodes are out of order, and they try to say that the bubbler is the first episode of Miraculous Ladybug, but it's not. It's actually Stormy Weather. But if you're looking at the series on Netflix, we are introduced to this series, and it's kind of irritating because the first time we see Nino, Gabriel is kicking his ass out of his house. This show does not seem to realize that they can be very racially insensitive at times, but we're introduced to Gabriel and Nino, where basically Nino wants Adrian to be able to go out and have fun with his friends and everything like that, because Nino picks up on the fact that, oh, Adrian's dad doesn't really give him much freedom. He really doesn't give him the time to be a kid. He just wants him to be this famous figure that everyone fawns over. And that is what irritates Nino, and that also irritates a lot of other Adrian's classmates as well, because Marinette doesn't like that, Alia doesn't like that, even Chloe doesn't like that to a certain extent, okay? I had to throw Chloe in there just as well. Nino, in my opinion, is great for Adrian, okay? But one thing that frustrates me so much when it comes to Nino's character is because it feels as if his only purpose within this series is to be Adrian's magical Negro. I'm sitting on the couch editing this shit because I'm that fucking tired. But, I need to explain what a magical Negro is because I feel like somebody gonna be confused. Okay, so according to NPR.org, magical Negro is the trope in literature and movies where a black character appears in the plot solely to help a white character and then vanishes. And that literally is what Nino is in this show. He mainly just shows up when it comes to Adrian, and then he goes. That's his purpose. And by the way, y'all, magical Negro characters don't always have like special powers or anything like that. Their main purpose is to, you know, help out their white counterparts or their non-black counterparts. And that is what Adrian literally is here for. He's like his savior. It's irritating. And I'm just like, you literally had this little 14-year-old boy going off on his dad, telling him to let him out the house. Adrian is not his dad. Like, that's one thing that annoys me, because I mentioned this later on, but I mentioned before how I don't like how Alia is like motherly to Marinette. I don't like how Nino is fatherly to Adrian. Alright, let's continue with the video. Like, I don't like how so much of Nino's storyline just revolves around him breaking Adrian out of his shell and helping Adrian grow as a person. Because this not only is just an issue that I have with Nino and Adrian's dynamic, this is also a problem that I have with Marinette and Alia's dynamic. Sometimes it feels as if they're talking down to them instead of at them like they're their own age, because I've mentioned this before and I was like, I love Alia, but Alia acts as if she's a mammy to Marinette. Alright, we're back with another insert because I realized I said something else that may confuse people, but I need to explain to you guys what the Mammy stereotype is. I already explained to you guys what the magical Negro is. Here's the Mammy. A Mammy is a U.S. historical stereotype depicting black women who work in a white family and nurse their family's children. The fictionalized Mammy character often is visualized as a large-sized, dark-skinned black woman with motherly personality. The origin of the Mammy figure stereotype is rooted in the history of slavery in the United States. So I've mentioned this before. When we see a lot of the token black friends on television, they're not just tokens to white kids. They're also token to a lot of biracial kids and a lot of just non-black kids too. And with the magical Negro and the Mammy stereotype, both of these play into, you know, the token black kid trope that we are so sick and fucking tired of seeing. Because usually if the token black friend is a boy, it's more of a magical Negro type. And then if the token black kid is a girl, it's more of a Mammy stereotype, because they literally are all just stopping everything they're doing just to help their non-black friends. And like I said, that literally is Nino and Olive's purpose within this series. As I mentioned before, if you guys watched my last video, tokenism is not needed anymore. I understand, like in the early 2000s and the late 90s, where we barely had any kind of representation for black cartoon characters in animation. I can understand why, sadly, tokenism was kind of needed then, because that was kind of like the only representation we were getting. But it is 2020 fucking 2. More black creatives are popping up. More black people are working in this field. Like, it's so much easier now to find black creators that want to make shows and all of that, alright? The token black kid is not needed. The Mammy stereotype isn't needed anymore. The magical Negro stereotype's not needed anymore. We can all just throw their asses in the trash. Alright, let's get back to the video. Marinette is not her child. Alia is not her mother. And it also just feels a bit like adultification, as how black children... It's just frustrating because as we see black kids within media, they're always seen as like the savior and the helper to their non-black counterparts. Like, we see this happen all the time with adult media, where the token black friend's purpose is mainly just to help their non-black friends, but we see it so much within children's media. And I mentioned this in another video previously about how that was really Susie's only storyline in All Grown Up, was that she was just there for Angelica, and then when she had her own storyline, she was just going through it. And it's honestly frustrating to see, because I remember we were talking about how if you actually sit down and look at both Alia and Nino's characters, you see that there's not really much to them outside of just being friends with Marinette and Adrian. That's part of the reason why Rocketeer is one of my favorite. No, Rocketeer literally is my favorite episode of the series, because they put Marinette aside. They didn't put Adrian aside. We gonna get there, okay? It's as if the show already knows what they can do with Alia by herself, but Nino, they're still struggling to try to break him away from Adrian. But one thing I really do like about this episode is that we actually do get to see Nino grow as a person. We actually get to see a side of him that we've never really seen before, because in the past we have seen Nino get sad and upset. As we know, Nino got akumatized because he was angry at Gabriel for not letting Adrian have freedom. We've seen that in the past, and it's also frustrating because we see that he got akumatized for the sake of Adrian. It's like, when you come down to it and you think about it, this show doesn't know what to do with Nino outside of that white boy. But moving on from Rocketeer, we see that he doesn't really get he still gets akumatized indirectly because of Adrian, because as we know, he's not aware that Adrian is Cat Noir. But within this episode, we actually get to see Nino grow a bit and develop more into an actual character and not just a token black kid.
When did you set all this up?
I'm the one asking questions. Remember what I told you yesterday? I got proof now. What do you say to this?
Come on, that doesn't make any sense. You're wrong. That's not at all what happened.
How do you know? You were there?
I love Rocketeer. Rocketeer literally is one of the best episodes of this series, and that is because it didn't feel... You know how the show always feels like that they had to put Marinette in the center focus of everything? I love Marinette. I love her down, but sometimes we can just put her character aside. Like how the show often puts Adrian's character aside. They can do it with Marinette too. I like how we actually get to see that Nino is not perfect. He's not always the super fun, chill guy that everyone likes to be around. He's not always going to be the party dude. He's not always going to be the rule breaker, the troublemaker, all of that. We actually see that Nino is an emotional wreck. I'm sorry, but I just love Rocketeer because it finally felt as if we were getting some kind of character development with Nino. And then later on within the series, we see that Nino fucks up again. Because, you know, Alia and Nino are aware that they're both superheroes, okay? Which is another reason why they fucked up, okay? But he and Alia kept this secret between each other that, hey, we're both superheroes, we both know, but you can't tell anybody, alright? And then later on, we see that he was scared of Alia getting hit, and he protected her, and yeah, that shit just made everything worse. Gabriel got their asses, oh my god. And one thing that kind of irritates me so much is because I see so many people are attacking Nino for what he did. Nino was just trying to protect his girlfriend, okay? Nino was concerned. I don't know about y'all, but he has suspicions about Cat Noir being gross towards his girlfriend. His feelings were extremely valid. I felt like he could have went about it in a different way instead of blowing up like that. But then also he kind of had to blow up like that because, you know, this show doesn't know how to progress its plot without somebody getting akumatized. People were getting extremely angry with Nino for being human and showing emotions. Like, yes, for the longest within this show, for almost 4 fucking seasons up until season 4, we saw that Nino is just good vibes only. He doesn't like negativity. He just wants to party. He just wants to DJ. He just wants everyone to have a good time. But we actually start to see him grow and develop in season 4 as an actual person and not just this typical stereotype that this show has just presenting with him this entire time. And people don't seem to like that. People don't seem to like that Nino is actually getting developed. And one thing that frustrates me so much with that is because for the longest, so many of the issues with Nino's character and them not knowing what to do with him has to do with the fact that this show, one, did not see him outside of being Adrian's token black friend, but also this show's diversity behind the scenes has to be changed. Y'all need to bring more writers of color within the series, okay? You do. You desperately need it, okay? Because while Nino and Alia's writing is getting better, there are still issues within them. Like I said, I've mentioned before, Nino's dialogue is just fucking terrible. It's awful. Just like Alia's dialogue is terrible too. But also, one thing that frustrates me so much about Miraculous Ladybug is because even though, you know, this show focused on Marinette and Adrian, this show is more of an ensemble. It has more of an ensemble cast, if you ask me, because there's so many different side plots and storylines and this and that and the third. Because like I said, I mentioned like this in like a tweet, but I was like, there's like so many different universes. You have like the Marinette and Adrian universe, you have the Kitty section universe, you have the Gabriel, Natalie, and Emily universe, which is my favorite universe. If you guys follow me, you're aware of that. And one thing I technically enjoy is because we see with the Gabriel, Natalie, and Emily universe, that is its own thing. We actually get to see something happen with that. And even with Kitty section, we do get to see the band develop a little bit more, even though we don't see them too much. I even love the Alex, Kim, and Max universe. We need to see more of them, okay? We actually get to see those characters grow by themselves and their plot not revolve around Meredith and Adrian. We actually did get to see Nino and Alia actually be boyfriend and girlfriend outside of being with Marinette and Adrian. We actually get to see them go on a date with each other. We actually get to see them have conversations with each other. For the longest, it wasn't really hitting me that Alia and Nino were boyfriend and girlfriend and that they were really interested into each other like that until I watched Rocketeer and I saw, oh, this love between them is real. But like Miraculous, don't stop there. We see that you guys can do great things with Alia and Nino. Continue to do that. And if you don't know how to, please bring in some black writers. Please bring in writers of color, okay? Miraculous Ladybug has the potential to be a much better show than what it already is. Do I think Miraculous Ladybug is a bad show? Yes. But do I think it's a good show too? Of course. It's good when it's good and it's bad when it's bad. We actually finally got to see some development with Nino and Alia, but Nino is specifically because Alia, you know, we see more of her because, you know, we see more of Marinette within the series, but we actually get to see her outside of Mary, and here we get to see Nino outside of Adrian. But don't stop there. Keep going. You can do good things with Nino's character because the fanfiction writers are outdoing y'all, okay? They are. And part of the reason why is because so many of the fic writers, a lot of them have friends of color, okay? A lot of them are people of color, alright? Miraculous Ladybug, in my opinion, kind of frustrates me so much because when you're watching the show, you kind of get the impression that, like, have any of y'all ever actually encountered a black person? Like, it feels like that sometimes with this series. And I'm just really scared and nervous to see what's going to happen with season 5 when it comes to Nino's character, because we finally get to see that he is developing and we actually are getting to see him grow as a person. We're actually getting to see him fuck up and make mistakes. I like what they did with Nino's character in season 4, even though he made me mad, but that's a good thing. We actually see him developing. But I just don't want his character to regress. Like so many of the other characters within this series just keep regressing backwards. And I feel like so much of that has to do with the fact that this show just needs to diversify its writers' room. But that's pretty much all I gotta say for this video. I didn't want to make this one too long, but thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you're not subscribed. You know ways you can support me. I have donation links down below. I have Buy Me a Coffee, I have a Ko-fi, I have a Patreon. Links to that will be down below. Also, we are running a GoFundMe campaign for my web series, The Progenies is a Descendants fan series. Please, if you can donate, please, the link will be down below. We want to get back to filming, but we don't have the funds to do so. Also, another way you want to support me for free, you can stream The Progenies and what we have out now. Link to that will be down below just as well. And you guys want to know a way you can support me for free? Sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. You can follow me on everything at Harriyanna, HARRIYANNA. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a good night.
To this point in my life, I'm blowing up, so don't hate, just congratulate.
The Powerpuff Girls will just blow your mind. Buttercup like villains 3 at a time. Bubbles will smile while kicking your butt, and Blossom will lead them out of their rut. Cherish and Powerpuff, 2 of a kind. Both wanna save the world before bad times. From Townsville, Memphis, New York to LA, the Powerpuff Girls are just here to stay. They coming through and fighting, and everyone they shocking. You know no one can stop them all.